product universe here. Karoline Leavitt answers the media's questions and shocks them with the receipts. This is unbelievable.
Caroline, Catholic Relief Services, which helps vulnerable people around the globe, is urging President Trump to continue funding their organization. Your response, please.
Sure. Well, I would defer you to the State Department on which foreign organizations or organizations that work overseas, humanitarian aid organizations, will continue to be funded. Secretary Rubio has been tasked with now being the acting administrator of USAID. As you all know, we have streamlined USAID into the State Department. Hey, Rachel. And so we want to ensure that we're being good stewards of the American taxpayers' dollars. He is currently going line by line to ensure that foreign aid to private organizations, public organizations, or government organizations aligns with America's interests. So I defer you to them.
And one more, in Nicaragua.
Sure, Libby.
2% of federal employees have accepted that buyout that was offered. Is that less than the White House was anticipating?
Well, the last time I checked in with Office of Personnel and Management, there was more than 40,000 individuals, federal workers, who had accepted the buyout program. We expect that number to increase, and that alone, just the 40,000, again, we expect it to increase. It's going to save the American people tens of millions of dollars, and we encourage federal workers in this city to accept the very generous offer. If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout, and we'll find highly competent individuals who want to fill these roles.
Just to follow up on that, after that deadline tonight passes, I know a lot of people at the White House have said there's still going to be widespread layoffs that would come imminently. Can you expand more on what that would look like?
I was just asked that on television. I have not been part of the discussions about the layoffs in particular. I'm not even sure if that's true. I can check and get back to you. Meredith?
I was going to ask if you have any updates on the meeting with the lawmakers since we went on this afternoon.
I understand the meeting is still ongoing, and it was been quite some time. They're talking about the budget and the priorities from this administration, the tax priorities.
Tax cuts, if I could. The House Republicans are floating the idea of a 5-year extension of the Trump tax cuts. President Trump wants it permanent. Would he sign a bill that has just a 5-year extension?
So I'm glad you brought up taxes. Do you mind holding this so I can bring my receipts? I like to bring the receipts. So these are the tax priorities of the Trump administration that the president has laid out for members in that meeting today. No tax on tips, which is obviously a very public campaign promise that the president made. No tax on seniors' Social Security. No tax on overtime pay. Renewing President Trump's 2017 middle-class tax cuts. Again, these are the president's priorities. Adjusting the SALT cap. Eliminate all the special tax breaks for billionaire sports team owners. Close the carried interest tax deduction loophole. Tax cuts for Made in America products. This will be the largest tax cut in history for middle-class working Americans. The president is committed to working with Congress to get this done.
Karoline Leavitt did an unbelievable job here, first by answering their questions about Trump's buyout program of federal government workers, as he is trying to save taxpayer dollars and buy out workers who don't want to return to the office, to thin the federal government, to cut these lazy workers who are taking advantage of the American taxpayer, to make government more efficient wherever possible. Karoline Leavitt communicated that beautifully, as anyone can agree that trimming away the fat from government, eliminating the worker who doesn't show up to work and doesn't do their job and is just there simply collecting a paycheck is a good idea. As well, sparks began to fly when she was asked about Trump's tax cuts and whether President Trump would consider making Trump's tax cuts permanent for 5 years only. She then brought out the receipts to show what the Trump tax cuts are, to show why the Trump tax cuts should be permanent and how they have changed, because they have changed since the first term, as now the Trump tax cuts include the original Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from the first term, but now they also include the campaign promises which she just rattled off, such as no tax on tips, no tax on senior Social Security, no tax on overtime pay, adjusting the SALT cap, and tax cuts for Made in America products. Trump Tax Cuts 2.0 is so much better than the first time around, as it still has the original Tax Cuts and Jobs Act inside of it, but now it has been added on to with even more tax cuts that she mentioned. And these tax cuts need to be permanent so that every American is taxed less. And when every American is taxed less, they will be able to spend that money that they would have been taxed on other things that will stimulate their local economies, thus making more money for their local economy. And since their local economy will make more money, the businesses in the local economy will make more money. When the businesses make more money, then the business owners will make more money, and the business owners will use that money to pay their workers more money. This creates a great chain reaction, which results from taxing Americans less. It ends up making Americans earn more and be able to spend more, and to earn more and to spend more. And this cycle will repeat over and over. Americans will have great prosperity because of these tax cuts, and most importantly, way more money. This deserves to be shared because Karoline Leavitt did a great job of explaining to the media with her receipts. But that's just my 2 cents, and you are entitled to your 2 cents. If you want, share your opinion in the comments below, as all viewpoints are welcome. If you enjoyed this informational and educational video, then give the video a like and turn on my channel notifications so that you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and God bless America.